Welcome to another haunting episode of Bergen Stage's Radio Theater. Draw up to that fire and gaze into those embers. Gaze into them deep, and soon you'll be down south with us in old Louisiana. It's strange country down there, ghost country. And outside a little railway depot, there begins our story about Graveyard Mansion.
Good heavens, driver, we're strangers here. Just got off that train. You can't expect us to walk a distance you say is 3 miles at this time of night, or rather morning.
Or we'd be lost among your cane-breaking bayous before we got halfway.
I'm powerful sorry, gentlemen, but I wouldn't drive into the old Ted Gross plantation house at night for all the money in the New Orleans Mint. And neither will anyone else in this here parts.
Why not?
What's wrong with Ted Gross Place?
What do y'all want to go out there for anyway?
If it really makes any difference to you, we've just inherited the plantation. We're down here to take possession.
Your name's Blanchard then, huh?
Yes.
I heard your two brothers were expected. Your lawyers had men from Baton Rouge this past week fixing the house up. And we're glad to get away this morning after only spending the daytime there.
So will you please tell us exactly what you're driving at?
Just this. If you gentlemen are wise, you would take the first train back up north and forget the day that Ted Gross Place was ever left you. That old house ain't been lived in for nigh 100 years, and for good reason. Folks here call it Graveyard Mansion, because it's a house of the living dead.
What?
And that's all I know, gentlemen. Now, good night.
Hey, come back here.
Wait a minute.
Well, I'll be doggone. He drove off and left us flat.
He didn't even want to stay and talk about the place, Kurt.
Huh. Well, now it looks like we've inherited a haunted house.
Our attorney never mentions such things in his letters.
He's an educated man. You don't think he'd go and write us such a crazy idea as that. Come on, we better start walking.
Walk to Ted Gross tonight?
We haven't any choice. That guy was the only taxi man. There are no hotels in this little village. Let's go back to the depot. We'll get directions from the station master and see if we can buy a lantern.
All right. Ha! That chump said our new home was called Graveyard Mansion.
Yes. It's the house of the living dead. Poor superstitious idiot.
Imagine believing in ghosts in the 21st century.
How can people be so dumb?
Oh, there's the marker they told us to look out for, Kurt. The house must be just beyond those trees.
I hope it is. I'm tired.
Yeah, so am I. This hike's taken longer than we expected. Must be nearly dawn.
Yes. This Louisiana is eerie country at night. The Spanish moss hanging from the trees seems to writhe like something living.
Those clouds of mist that rise up from the bayous take strange shapes, half human shapes. Puts one in the mood to almost believe in ghosts.
What if we didn't have any good sense? What is it these people fear about our new property? That old Creole who sold us the lantern was more insistent than the cab driver. We make no attempt to live in this place, without being any more explicit as to reasons.
He seemed afraid or ashamed to make any real explanation, but like the other guy, he said it was a house of the living dead.
That doesn't even make sense for a ghost story. Oh, it's just a lot of bunk.
Well, if the tales are all bunk, we'll find out soon enough. Look.
We've arrived.
Kind of a spooky-looking old place at that.
It's different than I pictured it. Sort of like a French chateau.
Our ancestor who built it was married to a French woman. She was probably responsible for its design.
Let's go in.
Wait, Kurt, look there. Those tombstones.
An old burial ground. Maybe that's why they call the house Graveyard Mansion.
That's what I was thinking.
Come on.
Wait a minute, does it seem to you that there's something moving in the darkness beyond those tombstones? Something white?
Yes. Some of that ghastly mist that rises from the bayous.
I suppose so. It looked almost like a woman.
Let's go inside and get some sleep before we become as goofy as the natives we've talked to. Hold this lantern while I find those keys the lawyer sent us.
These men didn't fix up the place very well. There's a broken window.
I see. There we are. It's as black as a coal mine in here.
What was that? Oh, bats! Oh, this place is full of them.
Oh, I wish we could find the lamp. This lantern isn't doing much good.
No, its light doesn't seem to penetrate this darkness at all. It's almost an unnatural darkness.
Yeah, it's funny. The ventilation from that open window, it ought to smell sweet in here. There's an earthy odor about the place, like a tomb.
What's that?
The door slammed.
Curtis, down the hallway.
A woman. That laugh.
Oh, she's no figure of the mist.
I'll soon find out who that is.
She disappeared around the corner.
She went through that little door. Help me.
It's stuck.
I've got it.
It leads to the cellar. There she goes, down those stairs.
Stop. Who are you?
She doesn't even look around.
After her. Hold up that lantern, Alan.
Ah, this bat knocked it from my hands.
We're in the dark.
With her. Oh, that laugh again.
Hold on to your nerve. I've got matches.
Well, give me a light, for God's sake.
Here.
Oh, thank God.
The lantern isn't broken.
Light it quick.
I have it now. We'll see what we can...
The woman's gone. The cellar's empty.
Where did she go to? This isn't a true cellar. It's just a little vault. No way out except by the stairs.
She couldn't have passed us. It's too narrow.
The vault is bare, with no place to hide.
Curtis, what's that setup in the wall?
Why, it's a burial crypt.
A burial crypt. A tomb. That's where the woman hid.
Alan, hold on to yourself. Don't let your nerves go like that. Our senses have been fooled. These stories we've heard, the ghastly mists we've seen, they've made us imagine things that can't be true. It's true. We haven't seen any woman. There is no woman here to see.
Yeah, but we heard her laugh.
No, we only thought we did. Our imaginations are playing tricks, I tell you. Alan.
You must be right.
Of course I'm right. It's the only explanation.
There's an inscription on that tomb. What does it say?
I'll see. It reads, "Here lies Antoinette Domarov, wife of Adrian Blanchard, born 1868, died 1890.
130 years ago. Antoinette Dumarov, she's the woman this mansion was built for.
Yes, I remember her name now.
Come on, let's get out of this cellar.
Wait, that's funny.
What?
It's as cold as death down here, but this slab is warm. Feel it.
Yeah, it's warm as life.
A rooster crowed. That means it's dawn.
Oh, let's get out of this cellar so I can see the light of day.
Go ahead, I'll follow. Peculiar, now that slab is growing cold. But Alan, I've told you 1,000 times that everything we saw and heard and felt last night was pure imagination. Well, that's simple common sense.
Oh, I know it is, and I've honestly agreed with you all day, but ever since the sun went down... Oh, I realize I'm acting like a baby, Kurt, but this place has got my goat.
You'll soon get over that. Cold shivers ran up and down my spine for hours after we came out of that burial vault this morning. But now that I've had a little sleep, I honestly feel cheerful about our inheritance.
Why do you suppose that single tomb is in the cellar while there's a graveyard right outside?
I don't know. Oh, I forgot to show you. Look what I found in the attic.
A miniature portrait. What a beautiful woman.
Yes. Here, look at the back.
It's engraved. To Adrian from Antoinette.
Uh-huh, it's Our Lady from the Tomb. Isn't she a knockout?
Well, she must have been lovely.
Our great-great-uncle must have been mad about her. That's probably why she's buried away from the common herd. Poor thing, she was only 22 when she died.
A branch of our family still lives down here. I wonder if we have any female cousins who inherited her good looks.
If we can find one, I bet you'll have no more objections to living in this house. You and I are going to be crazy about this place. Look out the window at that neglected land we're going to get in shape. Look at those great trees and the bio shining in the moonlight.
And those old tombstones in the yard. Oh, it's nearly midnight when they say the dead return to life.
If you're going to start that again, I'm going to bed. You should turn in yourself. It is midnight.
Yes, just midnight. Kurt, did you hear that door?
The wind must have slammed it shut.
And maybe the door from the cellar.
Stop that. You're not going to pieces on me again.
Kurt, look out the window. There's the woman we saw last night.
Good Lord. She won't get away from me this time.
Where are you going?
After her.
Wait. Don't leave me. Wait, Kurt. Don't go near her.
Let me go.
No.
Alan.
She's turning back.
She's coming toward us.
Oh, she's something awful from the grave.
I won't believe that. Let me go.
Oh, that laugh.
The same we heard last night.
Run, I tell you, run. She's something risen from the dead.
Lord help me, I think you're right. Come on.
Run.
Gentlemen.
Wait, she's calling to us.
There's nothing dead about that voice.
Why do you gentlemen run away from me? Do you think I am a ghost, perhaps?
Look at her. She's a healthy-looking, flesh and blood girl. She's laughing at us.
Can you blame her? Of all the dumb saps we are.
Yes, we certainly are. Oh, Curtis!
What is it now?
Look at her. She's the image of that miniature you found. The living image of a woman who's been dead 100 years.
Gentlemen, if you permit, I take the liberty to introduce myself.
No words can express my humiliation at how we acted.
We're terribly ashamed, but we'd heard so many strange tales about our new estate that we didn't think any living person would venture onto these grounds at night.
I come often when the moon is full like this and wander here while others sleep. This place has been so long deserted, I've come to look upon it as my own. But now that you are here, I must not trespass anymore.
Oh, please don't feel that way about it.
I should say not. Look at this place as still your own.
Thank you. Perhaps I shall. Now I must say au revoir.
May we see you home?
Thank you very much, but I must go alone.
Before you go, may we know your name?
Oh, I had forgot. I am Miss Nettie Blanchard.
Blanchard?
Well, that's our name too.
So we are distant relatives. Good night.
Will we see you again?
Ah, of course you will see me again.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh, isn't she a beauty? An absolute knockout. Kurt, let me see that miniature again of the Lady of the Tomb.
Here. The resemblance is startling, isn't it?
The girl who just left here must have sat for this portrait.
Alan, she said her name was Nettie. That's a contraction for Antoinette.
Antoinette, that's the name...
Of the woman in this portrait.
Coincidence, isn't it?
Yes. Coincidence. Oh, come on, let's go to bed. Alan, wake up. Are you going to sleep all day?
Huh?
Well, it's morning. Time to rise and shine.
I was dreaming.
It must have been a pleasant dream. You didn't want to snap out of it.
I dreamt that girl. The one we met last night came into this room and kissed me.
Well, that sounds nice. Get up. We've got a lot of work to do.
Right away. Oh, strange. I feel weak as a kitten.
You don't look so good.
I have a funny pain.
Where?
Here, on my throat.
There's a little mark there. As though you've been bitten.
Oh, it's funny. That's where I dreamt that she kissed me.
The house is just beyond that next turn in the road, Doctor. Turn left.
I know the way. You said it's been just a week since the onset of your brother's illness?
Yes, I didn't think someone could waste away so suddenly. It looks as though every drop of blood is being drained from his body.
You should have come from me sooner.
Oh, I wanted to, but he and Miss Blanchard insisted there was nothing really the matter with him.
Who is Miss Blanchard? A relative?
A very distant one. We only met her since we came down here. She's with my brother now. When he recovers, they are to be married.
Well, they became engaged rather quickly.
Yes. There's the house up ahead.
I know Graveyard Mansion very well. This strange mark on your brother's throat, you say it has become more inflamed each day?
Yes, it's as though the fangs of some beast had entered there. The house was full of bats when we arrived, Doctor. I've heard of vampire bats. Do you suppose?
No, I do not believe your brother is the victim of a vampire bat. Yet here we are.
There's Miss Blanchard at the door. Nettie, is Alan all right? I brought the doctor.
Oh, the doctor comes too late.
What do you mean? Not Alan.
Your brother is dead.
No.
Graveyard Mansion.
Oh, no.
And come away from that window, son. There is no way for us to bring your brother back.
No, he's buried in that graveyard now. Doctor, what killed him? What made this mark on his throat? What drained the blood from his body?
As yet, it was nothing recognized by natural science, but science refuses to recognize many things it should endeavor to know and explain. But never mind that now. Your brother's fiancée was not at the funeral this afternoon.
Because she couldn't bear to see him lying in his coffin. You heard her say last night.
Yes, I heard her excuse. You never see this girl except at night.
I know, but the reason is...
I have also heard her excuse for that. I thought I knew by sight every soul in these here parts, yet I have never seen that girl till the night you brought me here.
You don't mean to imply she had anything to do with Alan's death.
I imply nothing. Listen, it's midnight. Time for Miss Blanchard's promised call. I am most anxious to improve our acquaintance.
I see her coming beyond those gravestones. Isn't she beautiful?
You love that woman.
Doctor?
You love her as your brother did?
Yes. While Ellen lived, I denied it to myself, but Doctor, it's as though she cast a spell on me. She's so beautiful.
And so like the miniature you showed me of a woman dead 100 years.
Why do you torture me with these frightful questions, these frightful doubts? Why is she so like a woman dead 100 years? Why does she only appear at midnight? Why won't she tell me where she lives? Why?
Go and meet her. She's almost at the door. We may find an answer to our questions at dawn.
Never seen such a superstitious man of medicine, Dr. Brochard. The way you talk, you almost have me believe in ghosts.
I believe in ghosts, Miss Blanchard. In ghosts and vampires.
Vampires, Doctor.
Oh, such talk is foolish. No people nowadays accept such things.
The thought is too fearful for men's minds to dwell upon, perhaps. Have you heard what vampires are, Miss Blanchard?
Some other time you tell me. I must be going now.
But you will find the answer very interesting. Vampires are those evil spirits sometimes called the dead alive. It is said they rise from their grave at midnight, clothed in human flesh, controlled by blood drained by living bodies.
Very interesting. But I must be going.
But you haven't heard it all yet. At midnight, the vampire can rise, mademoiselle, but it must return to its grave at dawn.
Yes, but I must be leaving now.
Of course, it is very late, or rather early, and dawn is drawing near.
Doctor, what are you driving at?
I believe in vampires, my boy, and dangers of the darkness. Since Miss Blanchard will not permit you or me to see her home, I suggest she wait for daylight to come for her protection.
You keep me here with talk. I must be home.
But a few minutes should make very little difference, and dawn is nearly here.
Move. Let me pass.
You are as anxious to reach your home as the vampire is to reach its tomb.
Doctor!
You are insulting.
No, I am accusing.
Dr. Brochard!
Accusing the fiend who killed your brother. Accusing the evil soul of Graveyard Mansion.
Move away from that door and let me pass.
No!
Let me pass, I say.
No! The dawn is coming. The rays of light rob the fiend of the power that darkness lends them. Look, the first streaks of dawn shine in the sky.
Let me pass.
Doctor, you are mad. Stand aside and let her go.
No! If she is a normal woman and not the vile undead, then let her remain in this room 1 minute more.
I cannot. I am late. Late.
Doctor, she's run the other way.
Follow her.
She's going into the cellar.
I knew she would. Quick, and you will see the truth.
No!
It's dawn. She has gone home.
I don't believe you.
You shall have proof.
What are you gonna do?
Open the tomb of Antoinette, who has been dead 100 years.
This is sacrilege. We have no right to violate a tomb of the dead.
The vampire deserves no mercy from either God or man.
Such things as vampires can't exist.
I'm finished. Help me lift this lid and you will see.
I must have proof. Antoinette Blanchard has been dead 100 years. Shall find nothing but dust.
Help me lift the lid.
The girl I love can't be in that coffin.
Help me lift the lid.
I will.
There is your proof.
Antoinette.
Yes, tonight as she was 100 years ago, preserved an evil life from the blood of your brother and many others. So this is why the house has gained the name of Graveyard Mansion. But there is a way to end the vampire. This sharpened wooden stake above her undead heart, I place it and drive it home.
She screamed. Her body is crumbling to dust before my eyes.
The vampire is no more. The living dead is dead forever.
She's gone. She and my brother, all that I loved.
But the world has lost the scourge, and now Graveyard Mansion is nothing but a name.
Thank you for joining us today for another episode of Bergen Stage's Radio Theater. Today's story, Graveyard Mansion, featuring Kevin Bergen as Curtis, Matthew Rella as Alan, Mark Cruz as the driver, Christine Dunning as Nettie, and Peter Health as the doctor. Dean Matson is our recording engineer and special effects creator. Marianne Coe is our video engineer, and I am Jim Bumgardner, your host. Thank you to Bergen Community College, the BCC Office of Student Life, and the BCC Media Technologies Department. Tune in again to another episode of Bergen Stages Radio Theater soon, and be sure to catch some of our earlier episodes available online. Until next time, remember, don't touch that dial, and if you do, remember to disinfect it first.